asks Fiona Grudge, who couldn't care less about being beautiful. My mum reckons if the drought goes on much longer, we might have to sell our farm, says Dustin Brayshaw. Mine said that too. Mine too. We just sold our place, says Ben Nguyen quietly. We're moving to the city to live with my auntie and uncle. I don't really want to go. Everyone feels bad for Ben, including Annie, who is in the back row tightening a loose screw on the chair in front of her. Fixing things is Annie's hidden talent. If something is wrong, she wants to make it right. But some problems are so tricky that it's not clear how to solve them, or they're so large that the solution doesn't fit in her tool belt. Like the drought, for example. Or the fact that her family might lose their home too. A car horn interrupts the class. Everyone goes quiet. The horn honks again. Annie? Annie! Outside, Brian Shearer has parked his ute on the grass beside the classroom. He is a big man with square shoulders and a round beard. Ms. Formsby pokes her head out of the window. Mr. Shearer, there are less disruptive ways to collect your daughter. I recommend the car park in the main entrance after the final bell. It's an emergency. Again? This is the third time this month. Can't be helped, I'm afraid. He honks the horn again. In the classroom, Annie has already returned the screwdriver to her tool belt and packed her school bag. She moves swiftly towards the door. Sorry, Miss Formsby, she says. I've already done my homework. It's on your desk. Annie runs down the hall, through the main doors, and rushes to get into the ute. Because there's a problem, and only she can fix it. With Runt's help, of course. Upson Downs. Brian drives through the main street of Upson Downs. They pass empty storefronts with window banners that say, for sale or for lease. They pass Patel's Petals, the florist, Raylene's Relics, the antique store. They pass the bank, the butcher, and the newsagent. They pass the Golden Fleece, the only pub left in town. They pass the abandoned town hall and the deserted railway station. They pass the Big Ram, a giant statue fallen into disrepair. It has a broken horn and a missing eye. A sign beneath it says, "Thank you for visiting." But nobody visits anymore. For more than 100 years, Upson Downs was busy and thriving, home to thousands of people and thousands more sheep. Upson Downs was famous for producing the finest wool in the world. The luxurious fleece was praised by Parisian designers and prized by tailors on London's Savile Row. The vast plains and valleys were kept green by the deep rivers and creeks that ran through it. It was a beautiful, vibrant place full of wildlife and wildflowers. There were restaurants and festivals and dance halls and sporting clubs. There were stockyards and bake sales and charity events. People poured in from all across the country, and Upson Downs welcomed them all. Then everything was ruined by one man. Brian's rickety ute rattles along a single-lane road. Around them are brown paddocks with tufts of dry grass. Sorry to come and grab you early again, Brian says. It's okay. Hope I didn't interrupt anything too interesting. We were learning about storms. Oh yeah? Could do with a few of those. You know, your grandpa Wally studied them too at one point. I remember him talking about a harebrained scheme to make his own rain clouds. Annie turns to look at him, interested. Really? Yeah, it was all about attracting lightning. Something about electrical currents positively charging water droplets to make them heavier. I couldn't make any sense of it. He was a deep thinker, as you know. Had a lot of wild ideas. Did he write it down? Not sure. I wouldn't pay it much attention though, mate, says Brian. It's too late. Annie is intrigued. Brian pulls up outside the Shearer's old timber farmhouse, bringing a cloud of dust behind him. And there, sitting in the shade, beside a timber doghouse, is Runt. Runt is 3 years old, and short for his age. He has brown fur and brown eyes. Annie doesn't know what breed he is. Maybe Kelpie, maybe Heeler, maybe Shepherd, maybe Terrier. Maybe all of them, maybe none of them. Annie doesn't really care.